What's going on? What's going on? What's going on today? It's not that chipper me today. We're going in
Mm-hmm.
because we was hoping it was going to be a victory Tuesday, like we've been on a streak, man, but not this
Mm-mm.
Tuesday. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Then we're going to go ahead and introduce the panel. But let's go ahead and see who we got in the chat so far. First, about whatever you're first. What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Let me give y'all enough time to get in and realize we are here. But while we're
Yeah.
doing that, let's go ahead and introduce who we are in case you don't know. Come on, y'all. Come on in here and share this out. Share this out right now, wherever you are. If you're on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. If you on, anywhere, just share it to any group. Let everybody know the Ladybirds are here. Speak it up.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Ladybirds. How y'all doing today, ladies? How are you feeling? Tuesday, has the hungover, passed you by? Are you still feeling it? How do y'all feel today?
Well, it's your girl Whitney J from the A Ready to Slay. Y'all know how it is. I was mad, but I got over it fairly quickly because I knew a loss was coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't expect it to be like that. Because my biggest thing is I knew we wasn't going to just sweep it just fully out. Now the South is different, but the rest of the games and that we end up like some crazy record like 15 and 2. No, I knew it wasn't going to be that. So it was the games we wanted to lose. And unfortunately, I don't like losing games at home, but this is a game that was losable to a good team. The Seahawks ain't no run over. So while I am upset that we're 4-3, I still feel we're in a good position.
Okay. Okay. All right, Miss Christie, what you got on it? How are you feeling? And we'll get into some breakdown of the game in a moment and get these fans a little time to get in. How are you feeling today?
It's still better than last year, and so I always have to look for what should I be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like what I was hearing because I didn't get a chance to see the game. I had to listen. So shout out to Coach Unchained and all the content creators that.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us, if you're unable to see the game, you can always chime in and listen in. But I was displeased with the number of penalties just off the bat, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be one of those games, and it ended up being one of those games. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
not as disappointed knowing that we're still at a level that the last time we saw 4 wins by 7 and 8 games, we were headed to the Super Bowl. Not saying that that's what we're gonna do. It's just that it feels better than what it's felt in a long time.
Okay. Okay, Miss Pam, how are you feeling today? And while y'all, you giving yours, I'll be right back.
All right. I felt like this was a bona fide trap game. I felt like Coach is I'll putting it all on Coach. He didn't have them prepare. You have a team that has a 3-game losing streak. They're on a mission to get a win. What I saw out there, I saw nobody. I saw not the same team I've been seeing at the beginning of the year. No effort to even try to even win the game. The defense was not motivating, and you have a offensive line just getting false start at a home team. That's really a hot mess. So that's all I got to say on that.
Okay, we're gonna really get into this hot mess in a moment. Let's give a shout out to some of the people that was in the audience. Already saying what's up, Lady Brian Peoples. I highlighted you, but I'll highlight you again. Mucho
Yes.
grande. What's going on, ladies? What's
So,
up, ladies? Again, about whatever. Hey, Sherman Wood. Hey, beautiful ladies. How you doing? D.
Hey,
Coleman. Salute to you.
yeah,
Everybody is on
D.
the round table. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Birds, what's up? Reggie 2K, how you doing? Sonya. Now,
Sonia.
we call you out. And you and my twin sis. Me, you and my twin sis, I've been trying to get her, but she's more of a baseball Braves fan. My twin sister.
Uh-huh.
She watched football, but she knows those Braves like religiously. Only
Mm-hmm.
because she can watch the game when I can't. I'm at work when they be playing in the
Yeah.
daytime. So speaking of that, anyway. But what's good, ladies? Jerome in the house. Y'all show will be bringing a little joy back into the AFN family. Well, we hoping we can get that for you guys. I know everybody in there and they feelings. Tony Hall said, hello, AFN family. Bouncing back on the road this week, especially with Tampa Bay down 2 of their best. I heard about that.
Yeah.
We got some beef with you, sir. Hey, Lady Bird, it's all still. No, we're gonna. I think that's gonna be a rough
today, sir.
Except for IT. Oh my God, I didn't hear what I heard a little bit of it.
We're one band, one sound, Madness. Don't even do it.
Come on now, don't divide us now.
It said,
I got a straight beat for him this week.
JB1 said, hello, ladies. Let's see, we got everybody. Francis Hunt Washington, hello, lady, because I thought that game was going to be in the win column. We also thought so too. Hello, everybody. Melvin Emery, how you doing? Okay. That's all right, Madness. That's okay. That's okay. You can hate all you want to. Just congratulate because you watching us right now.
My talents today.
You watching the late birds today, so be quiet. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it because what went wrong, y'all? We're gonna get into this game recap, and I'm gonna do it a little differently. Normally, I ask the ladies their individual recaps, but I think we're gonna go through it as a team today, and just point out the obvious reasons of things that happened during this game. And you guys, let me know if you agree or not, or add your feedback on. And the fans, go ahead, let us know what you feel about this one. But let's talk about. I really want to get into this defense. Let's start out what happened. Then we're gonna get into one of the questions. I think Christy did Christy put that in the chat, I believe, but it's gonna kind of lead into that. I can't remember which person that brought it up, but the Falcons generated consistent pressure on the Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith and managed to get him on the ground. We are getting turnovers in these games, but team still seems undisciplined. They missed some tackles and sacks. Some crucial things and key plays in the defense is that Geno Smith constantly probed Atlanta's secondary and finished with 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Falcons don't have a single player on their roster with more than 2 sacks of this season. It's a total of 6. So the question is, we're gonna get into it. What is the issue? Is it Raheem Morris? Is he underachieving as a defensive coach? Is it on the players, the coordinators? Who's to blame here about this defensive play? It's just, it looks terrible.
It really is. I feel like it's more the scheme they're playing in for the personnel they have. They need to switch it up because right now it's too much of a hole between the defensive linemen and the secondary. It is literally a huge ass gap that a lot of these quarterbacks have been striking. And personally, I do blame Lake and I do blame Raheem, which it is their first year, so I try not to go too hard on them. But I think because we had Ryan Nielsen last year, a lot of us was hoping he would stay. We was concerned with getting a coach that was in college, trying to get them to kind of manage and see how they would do in the pros. It's not working right now. I think Raheem is allowing him to be the defensive coach and not stepping in. Raheem needs to step in. He needs to step in at this point. They're getting back there. That's what drives me crazy. They are getting back there. They're giving pressure, but anytime it comes to tackling, it's not there. They let them escape, or they don't wrap them up, or they overrun. It's just bad all around. It's just bad. Or the quarterback is super mobile and able to get almost 10, 15 yards, which I don't understand. I don't understand.
It was a lot of that, going up the middle. A lot of times, I heard commentators like, okay, I feel like, I think Matt Mike pointed this out, or one of the guys on one of those videos. It was basically saying, Raheem, the issue here is he underachieving, and they were just basically saying that, it seemed like he was doing a lot of experimenting in his games defensively.
That's it.
It was good, beautiful ladies there. Deshaun Coswell, what's up, Queens? We'll get back to winning streak. Yeet, get some. 28-3 Eagles are. Oh, look at you. There you go. Okay. And about whatever said, everybody, damn body is to blame. I know y'all Eagles fans upset how we whooped that. Defensive philosophy. Oh, let me go back. I'm sorry. We got a ton of same guys from last year, but our problems have flipped. And go ahead, Annette, who want to go next on this defense? What's going on? Who's to blame here?
I think he picked the wrong game to experiment, to put people in the wrong position. Kay Nellis was not in his right position. They trying to put him in the inside. He should be outside has like a pass blocker. I mean, it's just a wrong game to put a person in the wrong position. So that's just my opinion. He was experiment too much in this defense, and I agree with Whitney that the defense back got too much space. Giving them enough room to hitting players in the middle and stuff like that. So, but that's it. That's all I got.
And they were saying, there was another quote that I can't remember who put it in our group chat, but basically said they was looking, like you said, undisciplined, confused on that defensive line. I don't know what's going on there, but Coach pointed out, he was like, honestly, this has been a problem. Tackling and things like that has been a problem for the 6 games that we played. It was just definitely highlights even more in this loss, but tackling is a huge issue in our defense. And if we want to continue, we still got a long stretch of games to play. And we got to continue to defend the South. We got to get better. I don't know what's going on with these trades, but something needs to give here. So what you got that on that, Chrissy, about the defense? How you feel?
If you're going to play soft, if the schematic is soft, then how do you tackle? And if you 1,500 feet away from somebody, how do you tackle? How do you tackle so far away? So, I mean, for every offensive and defensive play, there is a positive and a negative side to it. But we've been playing this for so long and for the last several weeks. If everybody has the same keys to the victory, but your defensive coordinator doesn't, sounds like it's a defensive coordinator and coaching blame for me, because they were executing the plays that they were given. And if you're making changes with less than 6 days away, and then there were at least one whole day where all of our key defensive players, if you go on the IR list for week 7, you're going to see a rest day for our defense. So what were they doing? Were they learning this new play? Seems like it wasn't executed well. So what were you resting for? I feel that sort of way.
I think they went and underestimated this team on their losing streak. I think they underestimated. It was like, oh yeah, we're getting our division rival. We hype, hype game. We're excited. Oh, we got this. We because of course, now the media is talking about us. Hey, there's something to watch. There's something to check out. What's going on with these Falcons? Getting in their heads.
Oh,
we got to stay straight and narrow. We can't listen to that. We got to play each and every game, no matter of the record, exactly the same, and get better. Stop the run games, Floyd. I totally agree with you about Coach Ra. He needs to step in with the defense. Dalton is not super mobile. He still rushed for like 20 plus and escaped sacks. Good tell. Thank you, Floyd. When I saw Taquan Graham at no, I knew.
Dude, I'm like, what are you doing? Long time
exactly. We have to put JD next to Nyght at middle linebacker. You drafted him for a reason, or at least until Troy gets hurt. But Caden should be at edge and rusher.
I agree with that. But I want to ask a question to the panel and to the our audience. Do you think it's been a big issue now that it's been a whole bunch of emphasis of you can't hit low, you can't do certain things when you're tackling, that they're having to change their technique, especially Grady Jarrett, which he's been able to work on his swim. He's doing really good, but he's just not getting back there. And plus, he's being double teamed. A lot of defensive players have been concerned because even when they hit the quarterback, or what we got hit with that penalty when another player pushed him into the quarterback, easy get him. Is that possibly an issue too? That they can't get their tackling together because they feel restricted in what they can and can't do?
It could be some of that as well. Just trying to get, especially with rooks coming in and trying to get adjusted to the new changes and things like that. And some of the veterans, no excuse to that. You know, you change with the game. You know, but coming together as a unit, you know, it is like all these changes. Like it's something new every year. You know, so these players are, I guess, probably thinking too hard about it. It's like, well, I can't come down on him low. I can't hit him like this. I can't do this anymore. Okay. You're also worried about, you know, getting in, you know, like you said, putting them in different positions that they're not comfortable with because we're experimenting and things like that. You know, I think it does play a little factor with that as well. I think that's a good question. What y'all think about that? And audience, go ahead and give y'all feedback about whatever said. Yeah, that plays a big part about it. I agree. What you mean? Since you asked, you feel that's a big factor, or like it's a small?
I feel like it's a small factor. However, like you said, for veterans, there's no excuse. There's adjustments that need to be made, and also I think you guys, especially Auntie Pam, you made a great point that they're not there. You could tell they're uncomfortable and they're not in their natural known positions. It needs to change. But D Coleman, you're hilarious talking about talk about the DB. I mean, our secondary with social distancing. You are hilarious. But I just feel like they're trying to do techniques. They're trying to do these explosive plays where they're letting go of the fundamentals. And it's just unfortunate to see because we see the pressure, we see it, and it's just like it's not connecting. And especially because now we don't know what's going on with Bergeron. We might be losing some people on the line. That
we don't need any more of that.
No, we don't need no more of that. But now we definitely need to do that because there's concern about what's going on the offense. So we gotta look forward to that. And Holden says hello, chat and everyone.
Hey, how you doing? I hear them. Miss Stats, it drives me crazy. We must get better. You know, our DBs be social distancing. They still in that COVID mode. Is that what you're trying to say? 6 feet away from.
I have to say, losing Braylon Trice in preseason. Now, if we didn't lose him, I think he would have been the X factor in that pass rush. Because we lost him in preseason, that's affected somewhat of our pass rush, I would say. You know.
Brian People said the reason why I guess Seahawks was on a losing streak because they played 3 games in 11 days. The coaches and players got to execute better. Okay. Mucha Grundy said, only good thing from this week, everyone else in division lost. Also, the whole in the South had 30 plus on us. You know, hot Packers will sweep the division. I'll take that. We're going to get that now. Thank you guys. And Chris, you want to add anything else to it? How do you feel that, with question about
if you're gonna try something new, why not utilize preseason for what it's for, or the bye week? What are you doing during the bye week? If you want to execute something brand new, you want to take people out of their like you said, their natural position or their natural position that they used to play in. Especially, again, it has to fit the schematics. So if you're going to do that, have enough time to make sure that you can fully execute that instead of bumbling through. It was still an NFC game. It should have been serious enough that we
Yeah.
wanted to win. I was disappointed
Yeah.
with Coach Morris's press conference because he made it come in again about stats didn't matter. He said that again.
I didn't hear it. I really didn't hear it, and I'm glad I didn't hear it.
And so I I actually pulled a transcript just to make sure was I hearing what he just said. So
Ooh.
earlier I pulled a transcript to see exactly what he said, and so I went to the stats. So I put on my Mad Mike hat and I went to the stats. So out of those false starts, out of the 8 that we have across 7 games, guess how many was? Half of those was from this particular
Yes,
game.
we had
And
about
so
Yeah.
go
that
back
was
to that.
so it does
You were
Part.
at the home team and you getting false starts.
We had
right.
let's see, how many false start? I think we had
I
9.
think we had about 3 or 4.
It was 3 or
It wasn't
4.
false. Yeah, it was 3.
It was on Matthews. Matthew had the first
One was
one.
on
He had the first
Matthews. One was on Kyle Pitts.
one.
Then it was one on who was that? It wasn't Bergeron. Was it Bergeron? Or was it the center? No, it wasn't the center, but it was one of the guards who got it. So I want to say Bergeron, but
He said
but
3
yeah,
in a row. I knew
3 in a
my
row.
back would keep
Yeah,
up
that
with
was
it.
that first half. It was just back to back. Like
Right.
what's going
And
on?
it
Yeah.
makes
We'll
It was
get
on
into
the
this.
center.
And I said, D. Wayne C said, I truly believe the Falcons' defensive line is too small. Nobody on that line is consistently winning 101. And you
I
were
can
saying
agree
something.
with that. I've always thought that our lines are too small. They try to go with the guys who are speedy more so than meaty, and it's causing an issue. We are one of the smallest defensive lines in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows. It really does.
Mm-hmm. And that's and it probably come up later because I know a lot of people were looking at, well, how are we trading? And one of our conversations had been, if you go back and look at that NFL operation schedule, I really think they're holding out for the draft on the things that we need. And they're just trying out different things to through this first season. I hate that it's looking
So
like that, but Terry has never reacted this late on
he
a
had
lot of
Mm.
things. So so I pay attention to a lot of that. But for Atlanta and Seattle, they have the highest in the league number of penalties. They are tied for the most offensive pass interference penalties in the league together.
Mhm.
But the success wasn't on our side, and so I sort of a lot of questions that were asked of him during the press conference. He gives this sort of throw it off sort of thing, and he sort of threw it like on the players a little bit, and he was he never would say anything about the coordinators.
didn't
That
that happen
disturbed me.
before when he was
Yeah.
didn't he do that before? It was like right
Yes,
towards the end before they got rid of the coach. And I think he threw the team under the bus a little bit.
yes, he did it this time.
Mhm.
He did it this
So
time too.
Mhm.
So when I read through the transcript and I was like, okay, I understand these are people you bought in. I don't know what you promised them. You may have a personal connection to them, but just like players, look how fast we can rotate out players. To me, coordinators should be under the same
Microscope.
magnet. Yeah, should be under the same thing. It should be some type of reprimand. You got only so long, but I won't be surprised that that's one of the things that Terry brings up at the end of the season. Again, looking at the NFL operation schedule, I just think Terry's sitting back and letting them make decisions where, hey, this is your team. These are a lot of the players that you wanted to pick. These are the coordinators you wanted to pick. And a lot of times people need to understand the role of a GM. And this isn't on Terry this time. This is on Raheem. And he didn't step up and say, I know with the coordinator's position, he's actually served in both, even for us as offensive and defensive coordinator, his last stint with us. So he should be totally aware, but to totally take the reins off of people that are new in a position, and when you're the leader, then I hold him responsible.
and Mucho Grande said we also had a lot of flags on defense, third downs, and they scored on all
All of them.
of them. and didn't like
Every
this
single one of them.
And you know your referee is not your friend when you get them. They're gonna call it every time on you. So you gotta play clean because they don't like
the
us.
Falcons at this point. I feel like at this point we got a bid for flags. Damn, people were still talking about that game. Y'all shouldn't have got that card. You shouldn't have got that flag. I'm like, bro. We barely get flags. I used to see Matt Ryan get towed up in his helmet and everything, and he didn't get no flags. It had to be something like completely like outrageous for him to get a flag. And I mean, well, I want to see what our next topic is, but I definitely want to get into the offensive situation that we got going on.
That's pretty much what we're going to get into. We're going to get into Anthony White's comment, and then we'll get into the next topic. They got enough size on that line. They need to play better. It's not their size, it's coaching and execution. And of course, we was facing, you know, and I agree. It definitely relies on the coaching at the end of the day. Jimmy Lake may not be the guy. Nielsen last year did more with less. Attack. Don't play not to lose, play to win. The Zebras don't like us. You know, and they're on the Chiefs payroll. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. No, so thank you, ladies, for that. You know, everybody else in the chat just giving us about the defense. And I'm gonna ask a question later on down the line about it. But we're gonna get into offense now because we spent a little bit of time on there. But let's talk about it. Kirk Cousins finished his day going 24 of 35 for 232 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. He was also stripped of the football by Derek Hall in the fourth, who returned the fumble with a touchdown. You know, and let's talk about it. Then we'll get into some more parts of the offense. But Kirk Cousins, what happened here?
Kirk can't move. He doesn't know when to move. I know he's concerned about his Achilles, but he just refuses to move. And when he got to, he just don't throw the ball away. Now, he has been able to come up with some miraculous catches during his when he's up under pressure, but the fact is, doing that fumble to a basically 6 points a touchdown, he should have threw the ball away. I'd rather you have taken I'd rather you have taken a penalty than to do it happen. And I mean, hindsight is 50-50, but Kirk has to move. He got to do some moving. I know he's just a traditional quarterback, but you're in a league where the reason why most of these quarterbacks have been able to escape us is because they are mobile. They will move. Damn near every quarterback we've faced in all 7 weeks have been mobile, and they have gotten rushing yards on us. Damn near every single one of them. It's Kirk. I know Kirkwood. You got to move, honey. Even just up in the pocket a little bit. If you see a hole, just go. It's okay. Move. Just move.
He's just not a mobile quarterback. You got to accept that as a reality. But my issue is why you went away from the run. Bijan was cooking. You should have stayed with him. I mean, they had with him in the first half. And in the second half, you're going to put Tyler. I have nothing against Tyler Algier. But Bijan was finding some increase. You should have went with the high hand. You should have stayed with him. That's just my opinion right there.
Yeah.
You know, and when you have 2 missing offensive line, you know, down, you go with this offensive line is good at running the ball. So you go with the bread and butter and run the ball. Point blank.
And I like what D. Coleman said. I think, I can't see, you know, I'm blind. I think we knew coming in, Kirk wasn't mobile, but he got to know where to lay it down. That fumble was the last nip in the coffin. Kevin O'Connor said that part. Kirk won't run. He was agreeing with Witt. Every Matt Ryan would scramble for, even Matt Ryan would scramble for a couple of yards. Bet you Pitts can run. I think the life got sucked out from us after Kuz missed field goal and then scoring on that drive. You know, Dwayne C said Seattle was bottom 5 in stopping the run. The Falcons' offensive game plan was non-existent. Falcons should have pounded the ball. So let's go ahead and get in there. Miss Christie, how do you feel about Kirko, you know, his performance in that game?
We never had an offensive line that lets you sit in a lawn chair.
That's what I
He
said.
better move.
Never.
He started with our early wins. With our first 2 wins, he was a little bit more mobile. So I don't know why he's sitting back there just waiting to the perfect person to open up. And that wasn't even working because the way and how hard he throws the ball and the trajectory is always a little off. Like, does he need to change context or something else? So he needs to be a little bit more mobile. I think he can be because we've seen him do it early on. And it's just like now he's not doing it.
I think it's the momentum too. I think, like you said, the Kirk Kuz kick. I've seen, you know, I had watched the replay right before we came on, and I did see a lot of the times that the pressure was on, and nobody was protecting him in the middle. So you know, like you said, he's not moving and things like that. So, you know, so let's get right into the next portion of it. It's a big factor here. A lot of offense didn't find a consistent rhythm throughout the game. So not just Kirk Cousins, but our offense wasn't finding consistency in the game, and these penalties played a big part.
This was not Kirk Cousins' game. This was not Kirk Cousins' game, point blank. He overthrew McLeod for probably what could have been an easy touchdown. So, you know, that's why I said they should have kept with the running game.
Right.
I think the fact is oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I agree with that.
I feel like I know that people run to open up the pass, or they pass to open up the run RPO style. But the thing is that if you know something is working, especially Bijan, like you said, Miss Pam, he was on fire even when he was
on fire.
Balls on the fly. He was on fire. I think the fact is that our offensive coordinator, he don't know when to stick to something. He doesn't know when he is sticking to something, which we seen with the 509-yard game with Kirk Cousins. It's not balanced. He needs to get comfortable and understand. Maybe he need to come from out the box. So maybe he needs to come from out the box, because obviously being in the box and running and yelling down the plays ain't helping, because I would think you will be able to see what the defense scheme is, and Kirk to be able to see, and y'all can be able to do what you need.
Did you notice that Kirk was doing this a lot too, though? I don't know if anybody caught that, but he kept doing this, like holding up to his ears.
Yeah, they have a microphone in.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was having some trouble hearing some of those plays and things like that, but I kept seeing him do this a few times. And we're at home, you know, so I know it wasn't the crowd factor at that point. So I was just wondering what was up to that. Southside 12, so I think people forget Kirk was never a Peyton or Brady as an athleticism with Washington and Minnesota. Kirk could get a 10-yard run if needed. I believe it's still the Achilles. Okay. Dwayne C said, speaking of players that can't run, I am at the game and Pitts is mobile. He seems to have speed. And then he also disagree with you earlier, Auntie. He said, put Algier for Robinson to take a breather, and Algier was getting positive yards. Also, that wasn't the problem because Bijan was still doing his thing. And I agree with
I'm not, like I say, I wasn't placing the blame on Algier, but my point is they could have stuck with the running game. That's just my game, my opinion right there. Because you have two offensive line that was down, you know, and when you have two offensive line that was down, why go to the run? I mean, to the pass with when you know your offensive line is good at running the ball. That's my beef about right there.
Now, what I am going to give Kirk, Drake London should have caught that ball. It sailed through his hands, so I'm not going to hold that first interception on him. Drake should have caught that ball. It just is what it is. The second one, you trying to force stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, the forced fumble sack. So it just is I'm trying to hold off because again, this is their first year, but it's like you're missing the basics. Is tackling, making sure you hold the line, make like it's simple things that you get so frustrated as a fan that they don't see. But like I said earlier, I know a loss was gonna come.
Yeah.
But maybe this is the shot in the arm that they needed in order to see like
I feel that we needed.
Yeah, because this is the worst loss we've had. This
because
is the worst one we've had so far.
We were skating on those wins. It was
we were skating like it was always close.
It was always there. You know, it's just we got it out of the skin of our teeth. It was like, okay, then so the hype was, oh, we're winning, and we're winning. But a lot of people was overlooking the key factors that where it wasn't just defeated. We was defending our team and like that. It was like we were just barely getting by. So it's like you got to really focus on the fundamentals of this game and really what's really going on. And coach broke it down really well. Now I watched him earlier about that. It's like this problem with the tackling and things like that has been going on for quite some time. So it was predominant because of how we played this game. So it looked like it was just a terrible game, but this is not the first time we've seen this. Southside said, I'm not really worried about Zach Robinson and the offense this year. When we have a bad game, by the next game, we immediately make adjustments, and we're going to have to. We definitely going to have to because now Tampa Bay has our, even though Tampa Bay, we can't sleep on them, but they watching film and they mad now because they losing. And and we're still the division ties and things like that up top. And that people are dropping like flies. We can't go into this game thinking like this is the same team. It got
the same team in the dome. I mean, in the Dens, still the same team.
This game was up in the air from the beginning. Seattle 3-game losing streak, Falcons 3-game winning streak. Something had to give. That was why the line was only 2.5 for the Falcons to win. So it's like, this is that humble game where it's like, let's get off our high horse. Let's really pay attention to our key problems here. Penalties, not getting these sacks and tackles and things like that. Being a little bit more disciplined.
I agree with that. And I noticed something with Cool. I'm sorry, Maggie. I noticed something with Cool. Cool always misses when he is on the left hash mark because his balls always curve to the left. I'm gonna need for them going forward. If Cool is going to kick the ball, or you feel like you're not going to be in the third down situation that maybe you can't get it and you're in field goal range, I'm gonna need y'all to be on the right hash mark, or you need to be in the middle because every time he is left, he misses. I've noticed that with every kick he's missed, it always curves to the left.
And
I agree with Coach Antonio about the offensive coordinator need to be up top.
Yeah, so it wouldn't matter. OC has better vision on the field up top. Okay, and then of course, Reggie was saying earlier that I watched him get hot, then go away from him. Didn't make any sense. So we're just making these crazy decisions. And let's keep it real. Dwayne C said we have 3 players with major injuries: Kirk, Grady, 6 feet, Pitts. There is a stat that shows Pitts is bottom in separation for tight ends.
His ass is too big. Really, honestly, I was actually mentioning that when I was watching the game for my dad. I said he is too big for him not to know how to shed these defensive players. I'm like, bruh, it seems like you run at half speed. It's not you ain't earning your contract year, bruh. You really, really, really are not. And it's upsetting to see because what he gave his rookie year and even going to his second year before his injury, like do he need to go in the weight room? What does he need to do? Because even when he gets the ball, whoever tackles him first is going to get him down. It is what it is. He can't shed him off. And maybe because I'm just used to Julio, but bro can't get them off him. It's annoying.
He just need to know how to be a tight end. Everybody trying to make him out to be a receiver. He just they got a tight end coach, so hopefully that will help. We'll see.
My thing is let's talk about it. At first, it was like, okay, injuries and things like that. Is it time to start looking at Kyle Pitts a little bit more closer? And is he really a good fit here?
He just finally learned how to block.
That's if you feel like it. That's just my opinion.
And that's a question to everybody else in the chat. What's happening? But I want to get into some more comments and let y'all get a chance to talk about it. I forgot about that drop from Drake. Yeah, that too, execution. Mucha Grande said also we had opportunities, we just didn't take advance of them when they presented itself. Absolutely. Sonia Hoya said that's on the OC for why the offense looks like trash. You don't put your offense in the pistol formation when you are losing offensive linemen. Go ahead, Pam.
Bingo.
Go ahead.
Bingo. He's not a type of quarterback to be in that pistol. So why put him in that position? That's just, oh man, that's it.
And about whatever said, hit that like button. I promise it won't, and it can hit you back. Look, and it's free, absolutely free. Hit that like button, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you are a lady, even if you're not a Falcons fan, if you over here watching and you want to join our show, let us know. Hit me up on social media. You can find me at Maggie T Productions anywhere and everywhere I can be. You can't miss me, baby. Dwayne said, two major penalty with Falcons stopped Seattle on third. I believe Seattle scored on both drives. Even the kicks he makes.
Correct. That's correct.
South said, he said need some Pitts needs some. And South said has got his receiving yards up the last 3 games, but you're right. When Pitts catch the ball, he is not as physical with the ball as Drake is when he gets it. Pitts actually hasn't played bad. Okay, all right, that's a take. He's avoiding the hit of the knee.
Yes.
Okay, so
I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
What you got on that, Christy? Just that question I'm talking about with Pitts.
I think for a lot of our players that like what Dwayne had said earlier, for those that have had a serious injury, that's what they're up against. They're scared of being hit in that same place. So would anyone else. So they got to find a way around it. But again, I still think, for those same 3 players that Dwayne mentioned, after I started looking at everything, you see Terry be sort of quiet, because I think in the spring it's going to be it's going to be a lot of changes that will be going on. So I wasn't worried too much about what's happening with the trades that are coming up, because I think they're going to be thinking long term. And long term is going to come if you look at that schedule, and so many things happen in November other than that November 5th date that relates to trades and relates to making sure that veteran players sign contracts. And so many things happen between there and December that in March I think we're gonna see Terry a whole lot coming back up between March and July.
I think so. I mean, honestly, because this team is all about competition and who's producing and things like that. So, we haven't signed some people on, for extensions and things like that. We're looking at certain people. I think we're going to be making some different decisions, and it's going to be some popular decisions that y'all, but it's a business. It said, I let him get the whole season, then reevaluate this off season before it's time to give him. That's what I mean. So it's like,
yeah, I agree.
We're going to be looking at some of these players Tyler Algier. And AJ Terrell
we need to keep Tyler.
that bag when they made that decision. I was just not in agreeing of it. It was like, okay, so but it's gonna be some decisions making that I think it's gonna come down a little later. Is his mental with the knee? I agree. So
yeah.
I'm not really tripping about Fitz. He and Bijan were eating in the first half. There's no excuse. Atlanta Falcons better beat Tampa Bay this Sunday. I agree.
Ooh-wee.
But y'all want to add anything to it? Anything else you notice about the team? Because I do have a question, actually, ladies.
Yeah, if Pitt's scared, he need to go to church. I mean, this is year 2 off of that injury. Something has to give. Grady is playing as if he didn't have an injury last year, and he had a major injury as well as Pitts.
Yeah,
bruh, run, bruh. This is your contract year, and that they looking at you, and fans are like, Kyle Pitts maybe need to go. That you'll be showing your ass off. Yes, he is getting stats. He is getting the ball. I can agree with that. He's not playing as bad, but it's not what you expect out of him. It's not.
Maybe this is executed that way. What do you think, ladies? Notice we don't go to Pitts a lot.
Right. But when he connect, he performs.
When he connect,
again, we don't see a lot of his tackles. We don't see it. So, I mean, because they don't show it. And I think he's performing, but again, look at everybody that has had major injuries on this team. They not at their 100%.
They're not.
We already know that, but I have to have an open mind because this is game 7. This is their first year together. It's the first year with these coaches, and it's still better than last year. And I have to keep that kind of open. I just don't want to hear the excuses if we don't win more than 7 games. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm just gonna tell you.
We just gotta we gotta reevaluate and just get back together. I think we'll continue to win a few more games here. Southside said with the pistol formation, I believe Zach has to remember, even though Matthew Stafford and Kirk are pocket passers, Stafford can do both pistol and play action, but Kirk is more confident in play action. Xavier said with Pitt's play type, he won't be a fit anywhere if he doesn't play the game more physically. I must say I have seen improvement from his effort in the blocking aspect, but he has to want it, though. And I'm saying there is some improvement. I agree. I'm not saying, it, but like you said earlier, Christy, it's like you got to show it. You got to show that you really want to be here because, we got to make them tough decisions because if we continue to win, we're not going to get a good draft, situation here. So we got to work with what we're working with, and we're going to have to get rid of some players and make sure he's, a good fit somewhere else. But somebody also got to want to pick him up as well. Yeah. What y'all think about Penix getting his first NFL play? How do y'all feel about that? Lucho Grande asked. I mean, he just passed
it? Well, at least he got a game experience. They took most of the starters off, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think I left the game by that time.
I mean, I don't think we really got too much to see him, so it really wasn't like everybody was like, "Oh, he's in," but it was like, yeah. Didn't really get to see too much of him, but it's good that they're probably starting to think about that, though. Starting to bring. I said when Kirk is having a bad game, we might need to kind of check in that second quarterback. Put him in.
We have a big lead on an opposing team. That's probably when you're going to
at least give him a couple of touches in the end when it's not crucial to our game. But at that time it was like it was over with. The game was over with. So
do you think they could bring him in like in a Tyson Hill situation? Because I mean he is way more mobile than Kirk is. But I know people are like upset, and if he does, they're gonna be calling for Kirk's neck. So, but
Y'all got to
nice
get
to
out
see
of
him.
the idea of Micah being mobile. He's not mobile. He's not a mobile quarterback. I mean, he is coming off of the injury also. So don't make him out to be a mobile quarterback when he's not.
Don't kill me, coach. I just put an ideal out there. Jesus Christ.
That's why I say he's not a mobile quarterback. He just like Kirk, y'all. So the delusion of him being a mobile quarterback, he's not.
Coach said no. I think he's still going to probably sit on the sideline and learn, and do like how they was trying to execute that when it was, Marietta.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Ryder has proven himself to be,
People.
he's going from practice squad to practice squad right now, and it just goes to show. Question about our head coach right now. Some people were saying that he was Dan Quinnish like in this game. How do y'all? What do y'all think?
Dan Quinn would allow the players to make some decisions if they thought it was better than what they were being told. So I don't think so. For that factor, because the players, again, I think if they were left up to them, they would probably execute something they thought would have worked better than.
Okay. What you got on that, Miss Pam or Miss Witt? What do you think?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel that because we've been used to so much BS that we're looking for the closest example if possible, and that would be Dan Quinn. And of course they're going to say that because he worked up on the Dan Quinn. So it's just trying to make sure that y'all understand that this is his first year back as a head coach. It's going to take some adjustments. It is going to take some time because he is entrusting a lot in his personnel with his coordinators, with his coaches and things like that. But I feel like eventually he's going to end up tapping into where he's going to end up being a part of some of that, depending on how other things shake out, if they're still having those fundamental like execution issues. But I still like what Rod is bringing. It's a really different feel. He answers questions. I think D-Lair gets on his damn nerves. So I think that's just what the whole thing with the stats. And he just try to get D-Lair the hell off of what's going on. But I'm still behind Raw. I'm not panicking or anything else like that, people. I'm not panicking.
And it's something that Let's Pray stated that Witt brought up earlier, and she already said that he's a tight end. Let's remember that. And I think the expectations for Pitts are a little unreasonable. He's a tight end. He's a tight end on this current roster. He's the fourth option at best. So, and Witt was kind of alluding to that. She basically was saying he is. So, a lot of times when you got your explosive players, you do overlook a lot of the other players, what they're doing and contributing to this team, so and that's why I just put it out there to see what everybody's thoughts is. I'm not in not saying that he may or may not be on this team, but it's like, what is going on with him? Why doesn't he seem as physical? Let's see here. He said Penix is not 100% either, so I think, we got to be careful about that, just keeping him healthy and learning. Kirk getting, more comfortable with his receivers and more comfortable with himself. He's also, nursing an injury and things like that. So get out of that mental mindset that is still there. Of course, we're going down with injuries week to week. It's, I think we just put a wide receiver on the practice squad from some team, so we're small little baby moves. Hello, Ladybirds, Nyght, Ryder, how you doing?
Hey, Nyght, Ryder.
Hey, Nyght, Ryder.
Let's see here, some more points. How important is establishing a new culture in ATL so you can grab some playoff experience? The culture part, I don't think, we figured that part out yet. Of course, the media's got us hyped. We're looking, we're excited about the team. But as far as our culture, I think we're still trying to figure that part out. You can have an electrifying fan base. You can have the media doing all this, but if your team is not putting something that the fans are looking, forward to, and you're not executing and doing your job, the culture don't matter at this point, because we're not filling those seats. The team is, the fans are giving up. The players are not feeling it. You lose your connection with your quarterback, your coaching. We don't want this to happen. So we needed this game to humble our ass, but we need to make an adjustment at this point.
Now, I can agree on that. I can agree on that with culture doesn't matter, because Dan Quinn with the Brotherhood, it was a nice culture to have, and they were winning. But as soon as the winning stopped, they dropped his ass off at the bus stop and said bye. So I like the culture in the field of what Rod's bringing, especially with him being the first Black head coach. But if he doesn't start producing, I said second or third year, depending on how Terry does the trades and stuff like that, I don't know. I think somebody asked the question in the chat if this is the last year of his GM contract. I feel like I feel like Terry and Raw have a good relationship. Terry finally is out of that pit hole of hell a certain GM put us in. Y'all know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's still doing the cleanup thing, and this is the first year actually having a little bit more control. We got rid of this guy, so this is his first year connecting with the head coach, and having a little bit more say so in this. So this is going to be his growing pains and his time to, if you're going to get it wrong now, get it wrong now. But I don't think it's his final year. I don't think they're going to just say, okay, forget him.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a reason why they put Michael Penix at number 8. They understand the importance of a quarterback. So that them picking him at 8 is the reason why they value their jobs 100%, because you got to have a quarterback in right now and in the future.
Okay.
And there are some NFC South teams that would love Terry. They would love to get him. I'm telling you, New Orleans would love to get him back.
Oh,
and again, you got to go back to the beginning of right after we fired Arthur Smith, when Arthur Blank, he came on 2 or 3 with Rich McKay, and then he did a final one after 2 with Rich McKay. But they emphasized how much of a role Terry didn't play in a lot of decisions that had been made, and how they were going to be making changes with that last one that Arthur Blank did before hiring, right when they first hired Raheem Morris. He emphasized the important role that Terry would have taking the reins of being GM. And then Terry, if you can go back to those press conferences. Terry emphasized that, how many different changes that will occur will be continuous throughout this season, looking ahead. He continued to say that, and he's doing that. And that's why I said, looking at the schedule of how they actually do football operations, he's behind the scenes actually doing that. And football business is supposed to be on Raheem's side. Every man is responsible for their own job. You ain't gonna be able to blame somebody else.
And I agree with Brian Peoples. He was saying Terry is doing his job, and he's not going anywhere, because you got to look at, you got to look at from the free agency, the draft, to the little bit of changes that we've made throughout the season as well, bringing in a couple of players, moving some people from practice squad, bringing these players in when there's injuries. He's doing the best he can damn do,
right?
With what we can work with right about now.
But that's what drives me crazy.
Is to come in and make sure that we don't overspend, we don't make dumb decisions and give these players crazy ass contracts. He's doing that with these 1-year deals with these players, 2-year deals with these players, small contracts here, extending some people that needs it. Reconstructing things. He was brought here to be that job, be that
Right.
job. So
Right.
I don't think he's
He's
going
got
anywhere.
excellent scouting department too. They go
Mhm.
all over the country scouting college players or players that you wouldn't even think they would bring on the squad. So kudos to the the scouting team that he got.
We
I
have a
think
special guest in the back, y'all. Go ahead, Ms. Witt, but we have a special guest that want to ask a question. But go ahead,
Oh,
you had something to say.
but I think that's what drive a lot of fans crazy is that he's getting the pieces. They're getting there, but it's the execution of being able to see those things. People complain about Judon. Judon has been back there with the quarterback. I see them red sleeves all the time. However, it's just haven't been no connection, and there's things that need to be changed around. Kane Ellis have been there. It's different people that has been back there, and a lot of people feel like the missing piece is the edge rusher. But I'm like, even if we was to get an edge rusher, if you're not placing him in the correct position, you pretty much just asked out. And I think again, I discussed this last week that they'll possibly rain on Trice for next year.
Mhm.
So that might be because they were excited for him this year. They were very excited for him. But we'll see what Terry does in trying to before the deadline to see if of course everybody's screaming and yelling want Myles Garrett. I'm not talking about our reporter. I'm talking about the actual guy that played for the Browns. Everybody's screaming for Max Crosby. Everybody is screaming for these certain players. I'm like, those players are worth money. I'm not willing to give up a whole bunch of shit in order to get these players because those players are going to be worth. They're going to want some first round picks, most likely. They're going to probably want a player, most likely. I even seen a thing on Twitter where they was like, how would you feel if we sent them a first round pick? They said something else, a future pick, and Michael Penix. I said, what the who?
Crazy.
I was like, y'all do too much for me on X. Y'all do too much for me. Yeah, I'm not about to give up no type of stuff like that. And I think Terry will figure it out. But it definitely starts with coaching. It definitely starts with
coaching. Speaking of coaching, we got a special guest in the house. He wanted to ask a question real quick. I know we said ladies only, but guess what? We got to give Coach Unchained. How you doing,
Coach?
What's going on? Hey, just a quick question I want to ask everybody.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, what's going on? So we're talking about how the players react and everything, right? I'm just going back because that's the question I want to ask. Who all had kids that played sports?
Me, I did.
Who had family members that played sports?
I did.
Yeah,
I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? How did those players play when you was in the stands?
Better.
Do you guys think that the same thing? These grown men who plan making all this money, don't they feel the same way?
Yeah.
They mentioned it. I went to the pep rally, me and Ms. Pam, and one of the things they did say is the crowd participation, the crowd, the seats, cheering them at the bus,
off of that.
traveling away games. That matters to them the most to see that.
So you're at home, and the stands are red seats. Don't you think they have an effect on those people?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've always thought that. I always thought that was an issue.
We're putting all this emphasis on the players. I understand that's what they get paid to do, but to have that fan participation there, it can motivate you a lot better than just being under emphasis. When you hear Kirk Cousins, hearing the other fans like the Pittsburgh game, hearing those fans in the stands, you're not gonna play well. It's like I can't hear my own team.
Yeah.
So having that fans in the stands will help these teams. That's just my own personal take of it because an empty stadium and nobody's cheering unless it's COVID like they did in COVID. We didn't play good either, right? However, fans help, man.
Not at all.
And all the people that are complaining about this team, half of them sell their tickets.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, they really
That's
do.
true.
So
that's true.
We're taking all this emphasis on players and this and that. Blame on yourself sometime.
Yeah.
That's just my own take.
Agree.
Hey, that's the only question I had to ask. So Thank you, ladies.
Good question, Coach. That's really a good question because it does. I feel like it does eat away at their, their ego.
I mean, I think the Falcons fans show up more on the road than they do at home.
Exactly.
Where's a lot of
which is sad. I mean, what not sad, but that's good. I mean, but they need. You're right. They need to show support at home. I agree with you.
They too busy out there tailgating and getting drunk at goddamn 10 o'clock in the morning where they forget to get in the goddamn game. I get irritated by that. I used to see it at the Georgia Dome, and now we're seeing it at Mercedes-Benz.
Let me ask this question.
Go ahead.
Because of course the Hawks did it before. They had a 6-man section. Now we have our Dirty Bird Nest run by Pat Troy and Tigger and them. I feel like for some people it's the cost of the games. A lot of people can't afford to go to these games. And like you said, they're selling these tickets to opposing teams. Do you think they need to start maybe stretching out that Dirty Bird Nest section to different parts of the stadium where it's a couple of more affordable seating, or a general admission section, or something where it's
put them in every corner.
I agree.
But anyway, thank you, ladies. I got to go.
Thank you, Coach. The only thing I would say about that, Maggie, is that you see how packed out the Atlanta United games are. Those games are packed out. If you're willing to go to a soccer game, and I know people don't know anything about soccer and they still want to go to them games, they could go to a Falcons game. I just think that, I do agree with extending the nest. But if they wanted to support, they would. I think people set up tickets because they want money and they understand that this is a transplant city. It really is. And those people are going to come here and they're going to willing to pay because they want to see their teams. I don't think it's the cost. I think it's the people may use it as an excuse, but I think it's the fact is people want money. That is what it is.
And another incident, you have season tickets. You have season ticket holder who buy tickets. They buy tickets because they support other teams. You have those fans too.
I think it's a misconception because for those, Atlanta has just as many fans out of state than they do in, and I have to consider the cost. So. Most people sell their tickets through an online forum. You do not know who buys your tickets. You do not know who buys your tickets. It's cheaper to buy a season tickets for the entire home for all the home games and then sell the other ones, but you don't know who's buying those tickets. Because that is
and that's what they're doing
by the online forum because our tickets are electronic. You don't know who buys them.
That's a good point. But at the same time, some of them are just putting. I've seen people. I got these tickets and I got these tickets, so they either using that or they're selling it to their peers and selling to their opposing fan, and they're just looking at a paycheck. But at the same time, you can still get decent tickets to these games. Sometimes even at the last minute on game day. Or like you said,
they sell standing room only tickets for $65 at that game.
So if you really want to be in just be in there because they got little places that everybody hanging out at. A lot of people kind of congregate into that middle area. So even that, but I think people got to just stay in their seats a little bit longer. Also, everybody trying to get pictures and stand there, and then it's like you said, a lot of red seats, and then. People are leaving early, trying to catch the, next train or whatever the case may be, beat traffic. But as you can see, even though this game wasn't an example of that, but we are a fourth quarter team.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll change that. But let's see what some of these are saying.
I'm still mad at what they did when we first played Tampa. I'm still mad at that.
Wallace Smith.
All those people left.
It looks like these Detroit fans, you'll be lucky if you see a few opposing fan in the stand with Lions play at home. I think
they packed that stadium up. Me and my good friend went to Lions game with the Falcons last year, and I mean they had sea of blue all the way to the ceiling. So they're passionate about their team. Win, lose, or draw.
I think we are going to be all right. And we took a tough loss against, and we need it. We just, honestly, we just need to be humble.
Right.
Yeah.
That any ball game, any Sunday, you know, you got to come out. I don't care what the record is, losing streak. You need to be on your A game. This should have been a cakewalk for these Falcons, and it wasn't. But even though now it kind of elevates it, well, kind of shows where our weaknesses are a lot more. So, of course, I do hope they're in those locker rooms watching film, and they make some heavy ass adjustments because we're both coming from losing games, and we're both going to be hungry. And it's a division game on the line again. And it was kind of back and forth last season with our division rivals. We need to get this on out like we thought we was going to do the remaining of the season, at least against our rivals. But, of course, you know, every other game is a game that we need to win. Yes, Maggie. I say out there over picks, to be honest. They already gave Bowers, got Bowers, and we won't have a tight end threat. I love Algier, but for that, I try. I guess y'all talking about some trades there. Any other thoughts, ladies? Of course, we kind of just got into pretty much everything. Any other thing that might have stood out to you as far as just saying that we need to work on, or let's talk about some good positive. I know we was talking about what went wrong. But what are some positives that you might have seen in this game? Anything that stood out to you about some of the players, or you know, anything? I know
I like that.
Go ahead.
I like that we took our key players, our starters out, and put in other players. Not only giving them an opportunity, we didn't do what that Bucks coach did. He's on the hot seat.
Oh,
but continue to play when you only have a minute or less to play. And he said why. He said why we still could have done this. We still could have done that in that period of time. And he really wasn't regretting even doing that. And I was like, "Ooh, glad we don't have a coach like that." But I'm glad that we did, and so I have a better understanding of how Coach Morris thinks.
It gives other players opportunity who weren't able to play the game. You know,
right?
You know,
I agree, and also I got to give a big ups to who did he take over for? Smith. He came in. I forgot who came in for Zoe. Who came in for Lorenzo Carter?
It's Smith.
Yeah, he was getting back there, and it was next man up. So I was very appreciative in seeing that that there are some backup players there, that they did do some due diligence and making sure if somebody does go down, that there's somebody behind it, because we've even seen that even though he caught some penalties with Dahlman going down, our second string center, he's been holding up fairly well.
He also went down in the game too.
He came back in too.
Yeah.
He came back in. So we'll see the injury report tomorrow to see what's going on with different players and stuff like that. But I can appreciate the players for being honest, even the coaches being honest, that all three phases of the game was shit on Sunday. It really was. You can't place the blame completely on the defense, and you can't place on the offense. You can't even place it on Koo's kit. All three phases was a failure.
Bates off basically.
Yeah. Bates took. He said they got to figure out some things in the back. So is Simmons. Simmons, like, he's ready for next week to come. I think he's pissed because again he got scored on, and I know everybody been getting on AJ about being burnt to a crisp by DJ Metcalf, but on some of them plays, them playing zone, and the safety was supposed to cover over, which I don't understand why Coach Raheem did not put two players on him. But again, the one that he did score, I forgot which touchdown, the safety came over too late. Simmons came over too late. So I mean, he is we talked about it last weekend about what's going on with AJ with usually, even though he gets burnt sometimes, really a lot of players don't throw to him. They usually don't throw on that side of the field. It was a time where he was considered a premier corner. It's just the fact is that we want them explosive corners that we see. He's fairly traditional, and then he gets hits when he get them, but then when he miss. But I can respect for them taking accountability and understand, not pointing the blame, not pointing the fingers, and we got to move on to next week.
Let's hope Troy Anderson be back.
Let's hope.
I think they say that he day-to-day. He was day-to-day last week, so we'll see. But I'm starting to be concerned about Troy because I'm like, are you injury prone?
He
just play hard. That's it.
He's kind of early to say, so we'll see. But get into some of these star comments. I did because, of course, I think we already addressed the Terry last year of his GM contract. So we already kind of got into that D-Way and see. We kind of got into that one. So I don't think it's his last year. But Mucho had a question here. What do y'all ladies think about us bringing back our Evans for a third time? Yeah, think about.
Did they cut him? I thought they cut him.
They released him again.
Release him. Yeah. He's not on the team no more.
Flash in the pan.
What everybody say? Let me see. Hold on, let me get back to the. Oh Lord, I'm trying to get to the. But yeah, it said, what do y'all think? And this thing's acting weird. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Really? Laugh my line. What are y'all talking about? Hey, Queens, AJ can't intercept a balloon.
Oh God.
All right. We have another comment here. I think ATL Leo. He said, do you think we can sweep the NFC South? It's one of the questions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the expectation, and that's what
at this point, that's what they playing for. They're gonna be ready for Tampa.
Because look at
ready for New Orleans.
Let's just look at them. If the Falcons didn't lose this game, like we supposed to been looking on paper, I think this game just kind of humbled us. But I still feel that we can run the South and win it. We just got to do our jobs against these rivals. Now that they got a little film on us, they're a little bent up and hurt, so they're gonna come in here, straggling. So we need to take advantage of all of that. Definitely. It says from this point on, Troy gets healthy. He should no longer be on special teams. Laugh out loud at all.
That's
I
true.
want the Atlanta Falcons run the ball more this Sunday. Tampa Bay can't stop the run.
Mike bubble wrap.
Yes. Mike spoke earlier about the nervousness about the game because of the situation, and it was so hopeful the staff has also recognized where we are and make these adjustments. Oh, absolutely. I think this was the game that, if we had to lose a game, I'd rather it not be our division rival at this point. I'd rather early in the season where before we get our bye, now we can make those adjustments. And it's like, okay, y'all, really got to work on this defense. We really got to on this, that, and the other. So now, coach, it's on you. What adjustments are you going to make? Let's talk to these defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators. We need to be on the one accord. We need to be talking to Kirk Cousins. What's going on? What do we need to do better to protect you? Get these penalties not, adding up. That's ridiculous. We had a lot of penalties in this game. Ridiculous. Only 6 sacks. That's a problem. That is a problem. So this now, the game is on the line. Now, people expecting, okay, the hype is gone because we lost this game. Let's get back to where we need to be, and do what we need to do. And hopefully some of these players are coming back. They said they signed him back on the practice squad. Okay.
Oh, they did sign him. Okay.
It says this event
I
is
just checked it. I was that's what I was scrolling and check it too. I was about to say, because I know they brought him in because I know they brought Kevin King. They actually put him on the 53. So I wasn't sure. They said they had put him down, but he's back according to Falcons Wire. So he is back.
Yeah, and I definitely want to say, Bijan, just get hot, get more hotter. Cheer, all of y'all. That we just make the Falcons great again, and we will be, people. We will be. We're still a young team.
Yeah,
coaches, inexperienced in certain things. This is Raheem's, his chance at head coach. So we got to look at all these aspects that plays into this, with the GM and everything else. We just got to be patient. We got to just pay attention to, what's going to happen in practice and things like that. The decisions they're making, moves they're making. I'm seeing a few little things happening, but I'm not at all throwing the towel in on this team yet. We still got a lot of football game to play. It's a matter of how we. It's early. It's still early.
And I'm like, every team, there's quite a few teams sitting at 4-3, and I mean, the only team that's undefeated right now is the Chiefs. So I mean, it is.
Yes, Minnesota lost to, I think, lost to Detroit.
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, they did. They lost to Detroit. So I mean, it's anyone's game. I'd rather be sitting over 500 than under. So I mean, we going into week 8. For somebody that asked in the chat, we go on our bye week on 12. Week 12 is our bye week. So
thank you.
It's right
I
before
just want to see them adjustments.
Okay. So we got a long stretch here then before the bye week. And we coming down with injuries every game. So we got to be careful. Play smart, make tough decisions. Put these players in their natural positions where they need to be. Stop experimenting. We're game 7, game 8. We can't continue to experiment anymore. You got to stay for what works best for this team and run with it and build with that. What works best. It's not so predictable at the same time. It's a lot of things that we need to change here. But on that note, ladies, let's go ahead and see if there's anything else we want to bring up. But I think that's about it. We want to give you guys back your evening because we try not to stay on for 2 hours or no. So no, ladies, got to get get the kids back in bed and things like that. But do you got any ruffle the feathers or any Christy rants, anything like that before we go, or we call it a show today?
Hey, we
Magnus,
call it a show.
I got to ruffle my feathers because Magnus, I feel like you jinxed us this week. You jinxed us. I don't ever want to see you do what's the keys to losses, what could cause us to lose the game. Bro, I don't need you to do that segment no goddamn more, because it's gonna end up being the issue. And I just, bro, that shit pissed me off. And instantly, as soon as we lost, I blamed you, and I'm going to blame you.
Man, that's all.
Christy rant last week. You got to ruffle the feathers.
Hey, that's it. I agree with Whit. He better be watching how he cut on the bathroom light in the middle of the night.
As a matter of fact, ladies, if you guys, for Sunday, but I'm going to try to do something before. I might send you out a link for the show. I don't know if he's in the chat and said nothing. He's probably doing whatever he's doing. He did call us out, and he was on Pam's side. I said no, but we one man, one sound here, so we might do a quick takeover for that pre-show. And speaking of pre-show, I'll get to that in a minute, y'all. But go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna advertise our watch party at the end of this madness. We coming for you. But anybody else any last minute thoughts? That was your ruffle your feather. Just getting on Matt just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was really my biggest thing, and really honestly, I was just like, a loss was gonna come. I don't like that it's in the NFC, but long as it ain't in the South. And I gotta say, it brought me good joy to see the Panthers, especially the Saints, get blown out in the Tampa Bay lose. I don't like to see players get injured. I didn't like what the Browns fans did up there this week. That
wasn't cool.
It wasn't cool at all. It was classless. It really was. But I do see a glimmer of hope that Mike Evans and a couple of their good players are not available. I don't like they have injuries, but I mean, it's easy to win that way. So I mean, God knows my heart. God knows my heart. But I like they're not available. Let's just put it that way.
It better out Kansas. I hate to see injuries. I pray for them and all that. This game, we need to be winning this. There's no excuse for this.
Got to win this game.
Yeah, we got to.
Absolutely. Anybody else got last minute thoughts? Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Get on up out of here. Everybody is, put your red and blacks in the chat. Get your score predictions for this game. Your keys to winning. If y'all want to throw a couple of those in the chat. But let's go ahead and close it on out. While y'all doing that, I want to give a shout out to just all the fans that have been here with us day one. Even some of these Aints fans that's in the chat, just trying to hang in there. 27-24 Falcons. Okay. Browns fans won't get nearly as much heat as the Eagles fan. It's madness come to a game in Atlanta. It's on site. Oh, see.
Somebody said he jinxed the Braves too. So
he
talks about the Braves too.
He do.
He's a diehard Mets fan.
A jinx. He's a jinx.
Mm-hmm. If I got a banner in here, this is basically, I don't think I put a picture up. We do have a watch party coming up. Let me put the banner in. Hold on. This Sunday on the south side at the playground. If you guys are just in the area, you're looking for somewhere to go, I'm put this in the chat. Come out. It's free entry. Free parking. More people. I would like for a lot more people to come on out, and we announced it very early. So it's this Sunday. If you're not traveling on the game this week, come on in and watch it with us. We're gonna have us a good time. I actually saw Asia this time and her family. A couple of more people did stop through. So I'm excited to see a lot more people. If you guys are happening to look for somewhere to be. The Atlanta Falcons crew will be in the building. Atlanta Falcons Nation crew, excuse me, will be in the building. So shout out to everybody that has just been in this chat. We appreciate you. I see some score predictions here. We got Southside's at 24-20. So of course, everybody kind of how I feel about these division games. It's always a close game and always end up a cool kick. That's what it always comes down to. Mucho Grande 24-21. Red and black in the chat. Scotty Robinson, 33-24 Falcons. Okay. Pound that rock with TA, then let Robinson juke them on out. Falcons 34-24. I may come out to the watch party. Come on out. Come on. People, look. Come on. I mean, they got food, they got good drinks, good music. Even if you just come in to just show your face. Look, it's okay. Just show up. Just show up. Look. Trying to just have a good time, everything, Bernard Contrell, thank you, Red and Black, Mucho, Wallace, a great show, ladies, and my keys to winning as it is every week, and that is to win by any means necessary and come out. That's victory. I'm always, let's leave penalties and come out healthy. Most important part. Lake better get it right, or I'm going to call Wilkes or say with his red and black. And then Francis Hunt Washington also said, and hey, shout out to you, Miss Lady. 30-21 Falcons. I love to see more women in the chat. Look, of course, we encouraging it. Share it to your lady friends too that are diehard football fans. Don't even have to be a Falcons. We want to encourage more women to watch this show. If you feeling like you want to come in and say some commentary, talk a little bit, you ain't even got to stay the whole show. Just come in and give us a little bit feedback and things like that. Let me take this banner off so y'all can see our faces for the last time. But we really do appreciate you guys just coming in, tuning in each and every week. We're going to be back here every Tuesday during the season at 8 p.m. Eastern. Set buttons, set the clock, hit the alert bell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please come back and leave feedback because we do appreciate you seeing that and doing that. Other than that, ladies, anything else y'all want to say, or we just go ahead and wrap this on up? Let's go.
I just want to win. That's all. I'm like Marshawn Lynch when he said, "I'm only here
so I won't get fired."
So I won't get fired. So it's the same thing. I want to win. It's simple. I just want us to. I want us to sweep the division. So I'll be happy with it.
I'm all for that.
And the Cowboys.
Let me not have another Cowboys moment. Let's just.
No Cowboys moment. We got them. We got them in a few weeks.
After Tampa, we got them after the Tampa game.
Yeah. So we we need to know how to.
I got a Cowboys fan that want to come on, so that's gonna be
okay.
Look, is Ty on tonight? No, Ty is going to have an early morning show. I think he had to take care of some business. He's a manager, so he had to take care of some business with his job. So he won't be on tonight. That's why we was able to kind of go on a little longer. Other than that, let's go ahead and give you guys your evening back because I need to go eat me some dinner. Thank you, ladies, for definitely coming on each and every week and giving this show all you got. Because one thing about it, it's like I sometimes when I even do clips of the show, I don't know who to highlight sometimes because everybody is just got some good stuff to talk about. So I appreciate it. This is bringing more attention to the ladies. That they're talking about their football. What's for dinner? I ordered some fish and chicken. But kids are cooking today. It ain't on my menu today. I'm like, I'm gonna get some takeout today. So some good, but it was some good fish though. Other than that though, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely come out to the watch party. It's free, absolutely free parking, whatever. Or if your birthday is having watch party too. But other than that, let's go ahead and get up out of here, people. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. We'll see you next week.
Peace out, people. And please don't forget to continue to donate to the Cash App. Don't forget. It's always going to the school fund as well as we're giving back to, those unfortunate people that are needed. And, still have to wait on that lady that wants to bring her sons, their children to the games. She just hasn't got back. But all proceeds are going towards good causes. And we're out. Good night.
Go vote.
Go vote.
Yes. Go vote. Peace.